Hi, welcome to HubSpot 101, the video series where I show you useful tips and tricks based on basic HubSpot features. And for today's video, I would like to talk about the different property types HubSpot allows us to create. So you might know that you can create under settings, data management properties, all kind of properties, so information you want to store about a specific object. You can create contact, company, deal property, invoice, list, marketing campaign, marketing event, order, etc., etc. Basically, everything that is an asset in a spot, you can create properties about. But when we look at different properties, we can see that they are not from the same kind. We have single line text, number, date picker, and a lot of different other types. The thing we need to understand is that each type has a different use because it will store the information in a different way, and we will be able to segment our database in a different way depending on each property type. So for instance, single line text, we will be able to segment our database with start with letter A, for instance, number is greater than or less than X number. So it's important when creating a new property to understand the different possibility we have in terms of types, and is what we are going to do right now. So to create a property, click on create property. You can choose a group, a label, and a description to help your colleagues understand what this property is about. And then in this specific menu, you will be able to choose the type, and that's the most important thing to do. So we can see that we have different big families. We have text input, choosing options, values, other. So let's start with the text input. Basically here is really simple. Is single line text, multi-line text are the same. It's just like a string of characters that we will be able to write under a specific property. Single line text will be like small text, and multi-line text could be a big text. For instance, the name of a company could be a single line text property. A multi-line text property could be like the message field on contact us form, for instance. It will not have limitation in terms of length. And phone number, it's the phone number. Unfortunately, a lot of person, when they don't understand HubSpot, they create these single line text or multi-line text property because it seems easy. We can fill whatever we want and it seems pretty convenient. The bad thing about it is, as I said, we will not be able to segment our database efficiently with this kind of text input properties. Let's say if you go to your HubSpot portal, HubSpot provides you the country region property that aims to store the country of a specific contact, but it's a single line text property, which means that if you put a text property in a form, you let the possibility of every lead to write whatever they want inside this property. So let's say you ask for the country with the country region property on a form. Like English people, they will put England, Great Britain with a misspelling, UK, United Kingdom, etc. So now, once you have this information, you will be able to segment your database to sort all the English leads. You will not be able to do so. And we will see which option is the best for this specific case. So if you have to create a text input property, just make sure that this value will be kind of unique for every lead that will enter your database, or you don't need it to segment your database. It should be like qualitative information for your salesperson. When they look at a specific contact record, they have this information, they know it, but they don't need to use it in other ways. And then we have the choosing options. Choosing options, they are my favorites. They are a way to forcing precise answer for a specific property. Single checkbox is just a yes or no question. So they're really useful for every kind of yes or no question, or to create like automation triggers, for instance. And then we have multiple checkboxes, drop-down select and radio select, that are kind of similar but a bit different. Drop-down select and radio select, they are the same for the same use. You can segment your database the same way, but drop-down select will be like you click and you have a list of different properties on a form, for instance, and radio select, you will have all the different values visible on your form. I personally prefer drop-down select as it makes the form easier, and you can upload specific list of values directly in this property. Then multiple checkboxes is the same as drop-down select, but you let the possibility to have several values for a specific property. So for instance, drop-down select, you have a property like interested in product, and you have product A, product B, product C. Drop-down select or radio select, you can only choose product A or B or C. Multiple checkboxes, you can choose product A, B, C, A and B, A and C, B and C, etc. And the date picker is simply a calendar field where you can just let people or set up a date that correspond to your needs. For the values, so numbers properties, we have number, calculation, and score. Number is any kind of number you can think of. You can sort them with formatted number, with currencies, with a lot of different options. So you can have like an annual revenue, number of employees, number of product purchase, etc., etc. Calculation and score, they are really specific and really interesting. Score, as its name shows, it will help you to create scores. So for instance, lead scoring will use this kind of score property. You have a good example of a default HubSpot property using score. The name is HubSpot score. So the idea is you will be able to put some positive input and negative input based on specific criteria, and the sum of all these different criteria will create a score. You can use it to qualify your leads, to prioritize your deals, etc., etc. And calculation, it gets really improved the last months. It will help you to create any kind of calculations based on properties. You can calculate the number of days between two dates properties. You can create like a total amount of a deal based on implement setup, onboarding setup, and annual costs, for instance. You can do any calculation you want. And for the other, there are a bit more specific properties. So file, you will be able to upload PDF, Excel sheets, etc. A spot user is when you want to map a specific colleague to a specific contact company, deals, etc., such as contact owner, but for other use, for instance. You can think about like second contact owner or backup contact owner, this kind of thing. And rich text is just a rich text that gives you a lot of different possibilities to store information into your records. And the last type they implement is property sync. That's a huge change. The goal is to be able to copy a specific object property into another object. So for instance, you're talking with a specific contact about his interest in product, and so you created a multi-checkboxes property for that, and you wanted to sync it to its company, so you have like a global information. When you look at the company record, you can create a property sync that will copy product interest contact into product interest company. I hope now you have a better view on how to use these different types. I really advise you to try them and to see all the different possibilities you can have behind them, especially for score and calculation that are a bit more advanced. If it was useful, don't forget to put a thumbs up and to subscribe to this channel. And if you want to get a deeper knowledge on how to set up and optimize a HubSpot portal, you can find the link in my description below. It was Greg, I wish you a nice day and see you soon.